Welcome to Muthu Dev Hub. In this video, we will understand what a function is, why we use it, and how functions help us write reusable and clean code in Windows Forms using C Sharp. Let's start now. What is a function? A function is a block of code that does specific one job and it can be reused again and again, makes the code clean, readability, and easy to maintain. Please look at the code, what we wrote in the previous videos. Actually, this code works fine, but everything is inside the button click. You can see all the code is written within the button click. This is the calculation. You can see my cursor. This is the calculation. If I need this calculation again, I must copy and paste the code. To avoid this, we use function. I give you a real-time example. Now I want to create one more button. If I want to create one more button, what is the shortcut key? We can select the existing button, press Ctrl C to copy, press Ctrl V to paste. See, we have one more new button. Now I am going to rename the text, save interest. And what is the next step we need to do? We need to define the name property. If you want to be a good developer, we always need to put a proper naming convention. Great. Now I'm going to double click on the button. See, we have one more click event. Now what I'm going to do, I copy the code. Again, I paste it here. Then what I do, I remove the grid view line. Instead of displaying the result in the label, I'm going to display in the message box. Great. You can look at the code. In the previous video, we wrote this code. And in the new button event, what we did, we copy the code and paste it here. Here, simply I am displaying the result in a message box. That's it. Now I'm going to run the application. This is our existing function. This is our new action, save interest. So we are displaying the result in a message box. So the function works now. As a developer, you need to understand we should not rewrite the code again and again. This is very, very important. Actually, the code works, but if you are a good developer, what we need to take note, you can see here the codes are repeating. The formula is repeating here and in the previous action as well. For example, you are changing some formula here, but you forgot to change the formula here. What will happen? Error will be thrown or it will be inaccurate result. For example, what I do, I remove rate. You can imagine this is your formula. This is your updated formula. But you forgot to update the formula in this event click. You updated only in one button click, but you forgot to update in other sections. Now you are running the application. See, the result is 0.24. But when you click on save interest, the result is 1.20. By right, the result should be same, but somehow the result is incorrect. What is the reason? We didn't update the formula in the other section. So the formula is not correct. You updated something here, but you forgot to update in this section. This is the reason all developers always recommend to go for a function. Now you understood what is the current limitation in the code. Especially the code is duplicated in two places. Got it? Now we are going to make it as a function. What is the benefit of function? You will understand after we finishing the video. Now I am creating a new function. See here, auto suggestions appear now, which is called intelligence in Visual Studio. As I told earlier, kindly don't follow the auto suggestions if you are a beginner. For this demo, I go for intelligence. I press tab key. Nice. We created a simple function. You need to understand what is this. You may have a question. What is this about? First, let me explain about this. Private. Private indicates used only inside this form. This is a modifier which indicating this method will be using within the class. You can access within the class. So this function is available within the form 1. You can't call this function from form 2, form 3 or some other form. You can't call it. So this is called private. Next is double. This will return a double value. What we calculated here, this value return as a double. So this is the return type. Next is, this is the method name. We can define any name. It's up to us. It's not mandatory to always maintain like this, but you need to follow the naming conventions. It should be a proper naming conventions so that other developers can understand easily what is this function about. Next is, I have created 3 parameters. We called is a parameter. So we are declaring the data type. This is called data type. Double is a data type. And this is the variable. We are declaring principal variable as a double data type. Again, we are declaring a rate variable as a double data type. Third is we are declaring time as a double data type. So we called these are all parameters. So now we are passing 3 parameters in the function. This is the return type. We use a double data type as a return type. Next, this is the calculation. What we do here, the same calculation, we move this calculation as a function. So we keep the formula as a function. Then this return indicates we are returning the result to the double data type. In summary, I can say that after calculation, the result will return as a double. Double is a data type. Great. We created a simple function. This is called function definition. Now you need to call the function. How to call the function? Now I am going to remove the existing code. Just you call the function. Great, that's it. Again, what I'm going to do, I'm also going to call the function here. Great, see here, inside the button, I call the function. Again, inside save interest button click, again I call the same function. Now you understand what is the benefit of using function? My formula is written only once. It's not duplicated anywhere else. See what is the future of using function. In the real world applications, you can see plenty of functions. If you want to be a good developer, you always need to think about writing a function. If you always think about a function, you can be a good developer. The code can be reusability, maintainability, and readability. When you go for interview or if you go for a practical test, better you write a function so that the examiner or interviewer will be happy about your performance. Okay, this guy has a better understanding of OOPS concept, how to improve the coding, how to rewrite the coding. They will have positive vibration about you. Great. Now you may have a question how the new function works in the code logic. Let's debug the application. As I mentioned in the previous video, you can look at my cursor. You can click on it. Once you click on it, then you can see the red dot immediately, which means debugging is ready now. Now we are going to run the application. I type some input. Now we will test only calculate interest. Later we will go for save interest. I press calculate interest. Nice. Now the cursor is waiting for you. These 3 lines are executed successfully because you didn't put a breakpoint. So the line is automatically executed. You can mouse over to the principal is 500, rate is 2, time is 3. But this line is not yet executed because you put a breakpoint. So are you ready to see the behavior? See, principal 500, rate 2 times 3. We are sending these three data to the new function, which is the new function. This is our new function. We already declared we are expecting three parameters. So here also we are sending three parameters, principal, rate and time. Now you need to understand the debugging application. We have one more key called F11. F11 is called step into. In the previous video, we discussed about F10, which is for debugging the application. Now you can also learn in the video F11 as well. F11 go for detailed inspection, what we used to call step into. F10 is step over, F11 is step into. What is the difference between F10 and F11? For example, I press F10. Straight away I press F10. See here, the cursor jump into the next line. It didn't go into the detailed inspection level. By right, for our case, we want to know the behavior of the new function. How it works here, you want to understand, right? For that, what I'm going to do, I press F11. If you press F11, it will go into the detailed debugging level. It comes to the function definition. We can confirm principal 500, rate 2 times 3. These are all the input where we received in the event handler. I press F10. Look at here. This is the return value. You can press F10. Now you can press F10. See here, the value 10 is received and stored inside the interest variable. I hope now you understood what is the benefit of debugging the application. I press F10. Nice. Okay. I press continue. Similarly, we are going to debug the save interest event handler also. Where you want to debug? I want to debug from the new function calling. Now I press save interest. Mouse over to the principal 500, rate, time, 3. Great. The three inputs are going to pass as a parameter to the calculate simple interest. I press F11 because I want to know the behavior of the new function. I press F11. Cursor comes here. Mouse over to the principal 500, rate 2 times 3. I continue, press F10. See here, the result appear here. This is the very good feature in Visual Studio. This will be more helpful when you are troubleshooting real world applications. I continue F10. See the result appear in the interest variable. Continue. Awesome. I hope now you understood how the function works in the backend logic. Now you may have another question. Is it required to maintain same variable in the function? See here, I am passing the variable principal, rate, time. Here also we maintain the same variable. The parameter looks same. Is it compulsorily maintain the same variable name? The answer is no. You can maintain any other variable name. For example, I put underscore rate time. See here, the variable now different. I also change here. Can you please give me an answer? The function will work or not? Because the variable looks different, whether you can expect the value or not. If anyone knows the answer, please provide a comment. The answer is it will execute the application properly without any error. The reason is the function is looking for the count. Count is important. You are sending three parameters. The function is expecting three parameters. So you have to pass three parameters. That is the key thing. It doesn't matter. The variable name is always same. It doesn't matter. If you don't pass one variable, just see mouse over here. See here, because in the function definition, you are expecting three parameters. But while you are calling the function, you are sending only two parameters, which is incorrect. Okay, now I am going to run the application. You want to know the behavior because we renamed the variable. So you want to understand the behavior. I give some input. See here, I am passing the value to the function principal 666, rate 3 times 2. I press F11. See the values are received correctly. See the values are written. I press continue. Wonderful. I hope now you understood how the functions are working in the code behind. I hope now you understood what is the benefit of function. So what is the use of function? Function is readability maintainability, and mainly it will avoid duplication of code. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Cheers. Thank you.